our toes today. If you have blocks and you want to place your feet on blocks, feel free to do that. I'm gonna bring these in front, and then you can see my feet a little bit better. And just starting with our toes. So lifting just your toes. Maybe look down at them, see what they're doing, or if they're in your shoes, just notice what they're doing. And see if you can spread them out, and then place them down and relax. We'll do this a couple more times. So just your toes lifting up. See if you can move just your big toe down, and then bring your big toe back up. And then see if you can bring just your baby toe down, your pinky toe, little toe, and lift it up. And relax all your toes again, take a breath. And we're gonna do one more with just your toes lifted. And then see if you can place that big toe down again and keep it there this time. And then see if you can keep your big toe down and then bring your baby toes down while you're lifting those 3 middle toes. So that can be quite challenging. And you can look down, you can even help them out if you can reach down there. And relax all your toes. Notice how that makes your feet feel. Maybe you can feel it into your ankles, the balls of your feet. And now we're gonna, you might wanna sit back in your chair a little bit as you lift your feet up so your heels are staying on the ground or the blocks. And then release slowly, letting your feet relax. And then lift your feet up. You could also, again, spread your toes out. Feeling your shin, the muscles in your shins tighten as you do this. And then release, letting them down. Mindfully lifting them up. And releasing down. Let's do alternating. So you're gonna lift one foot up and place it down as you lift the other foot up. Slow at first, and as far as you can lift your foot up. And then release and do the other side. And we'll start to do these a little bit faster. And notice that your shins will probably tire out, and you can pause at any time. Take a little break in between. We're going to be doing this a little bit longer. And then maybe a little bit faster, kind of like a quick step. Really feel the balls of your feet coming down each time. So we're getting some good work into our calves and shins. Another couple. And relax. Take a deep breath. Maybe even if you can reach down, kind of rub through your shins. Nice. And now we're going to do the heel lift. So you might want to move forward on your chair and lifting your heels up, sitting up nice and tall and lowering them. We'll do this a few times, a little bit, just smooth back and forth, up and then down. And then we'll throw in the gentle somatic yoga, which is really helpful for reconnecting the brain to body in those muscles and areas in our body that don't always cooperate well. So this time, stay up and keep your hands on your knees. Put just a little bit of pressure on your knees so your heels are lifted. And then as you're putting pressure on your knees, you're resisting against that pressure. So you're lowering your heels down as slowly as you can. Letting them come all the way down. It's nice if you're able to do this on blocks, because then if your heels go further, they're able to do that. And when you get all the way to the bottom, just rest, pause, take a breath. So we'll do this 2 more times. These are great to do, super easy. You can do them anytime, and if you could do them at least once a day, I pretty much guarantee you're gonna see a difference in the way your lower legs are cooperating. So inhale, lifting your heels up. Pressing on your knees just lightly, slow as possible, lowering your heels. Notice any bumpy, shaky spots, any choppy spots where your heels come down kind of in a chunk instead of smooth. And then let them rest at the bottom. So this third time, we're going to try to really smooth out those shaky, bumpy spots. And it's okay, this can take months or weeks to really smooth them out. So lifting your heels again, pressing down on your knees and lowering down as slowly as possible. Just breathing normal as you do this. Knowing that your brain is learning from this how to completely re-lengthen and relax those muscles. And then just release all tension, rest for a moment, and then just do some alternating heel lifts just to integrate what we've done. Good. So if you do these on your own, I've been playing around with them a little bit more lately. You could also, especially if one side is giving you a harder time, it's nice to do one leg at a time, one heel lowering at a time, or doing it on one side 3 times, and then doing it on the other side. And I would probably suggest doing your more cooperative side first so that the brain learns from that side, then how to transfer that smooth movement over to the other side. All right, so we're gonna get into the knees and noticing how your knees are sitting kind of not too far up, but closer to the front of your chair if possible. And so here you can keep your hands on your legs and maybe just straighten and bend your leg, feeling into one knee. Another option would be to lift underneath your thigh. Probably under your thigh would be best, and lift and lower this way. Breathing, and set that foot down, and we'll do the other side. So just straighten and bend. First, just kind of testing each side out, noticing any difference, maybe picking it up. Good. And go ahead and lower. We're going to go back to the first side, and this time when you bend your leg, if you're able to really pull it underneath your chair, or if you're holding it up with your hands, see if you can really pull your foot in as far as possible. So you'll start to feel some strengthening on the back side of your leg where your hamstrings are, the back of your knee. So extend and bend, but pull it back as far as you can. And then extend and pull back. Good. Couple more on this side. And then plant that foot down. We'll do the other side. So either keeping your leg just resting on your chair, or maybe holding it up with your hands and pulling it in. Each time you do that, staying away from any cramping, of course, but see if you can kind of hug that foot in and extend it out. A couple more times. Good. And then plant your foot. Take a breath. We're going to work on the hips next. So some more of that lifting. If you're able to do it without lifting your hand, please feel free to do that. You could also just keep your hand there to guide it, or actually lift. One thing that is nice about lifting it is that, let's say this is your range of motion that you can do without using your hands. But sometimes if you get it up, like, oh, I can only go there, without support, but then if you can lift it up higher and then bring it down and around, that helps, again, train your brain that, oh, I can actually go this far without pain, without pinching. So then we'll go the other direction a few times, guiding, maybe lifting your knee up a little bit higher and feeling a lot of, some of that fatigue in there, because these are working some pretty small muscles, but actually very important muscles in our body. And then go ahead and relax. And go over to the other side. Start to feel into how your hip is feeling first before you go much deeper. And maybe notice how far you can go on your own without your hand, if you're able to. And then see if you can, lift it and then pull it up a little bit higher. And notice how that works. And then start to go in the other direction. Good. Couple more. And rest. Nice. Whew, that was some good work. So now we're going to just kind of windshield wiper your knees side to side. Depending on your chair or your seat, this may be harder. I'm able to kind of slide on my seat because it's just a wooden chair. You could also try this sitting back in your seat more, or a little bit more forward, and just see which angle works best for you. Feeling into those hips, maybe feeling a little twist in your torso. Good. And then we're going to take some marching movement since we warmed up our legs really well. So start lifting those knees. And again, you could be swinging your arms, but you could also be supporting your knees. And, maybe this is where your normal range of motion is. But if you were to lift your knees, maybe you could go a little higher, exaggerate the movements, and really feel your toe, ball of your foot, and heel hitting. You can slow that way down, connecting to each part of the step. So feel free to make this right for you, either by speeding it up if you need more energy and blood flow going, or a little bit more cardio, or if you want to practice those very mindful movements, breaking your step down. You can really slow it down by going toe, ball, heel, toe, ball, heel. And even saying that to yourself out loud. Toe, ball, heel. Good. We'll be here for just a few more. Toe, ball, heel. Good. Or maybe you're taking the faster movements and then bring it down, slowing it out. Bring your arms down beside you. Take a couple of deep breaths. Shake your hands out. Nice. And then we'll be working into your torso next, but if you'd like to get a drink after all of that movement, please feel free. I think I'll get a little sip. Stay hydrated. Being mindful, especially in this very dry, cold weather. So our torso is next, and it'd be best if you could be seated kind of in the middle of your chair with your back away from the back of the chair. So we can start just leaning forward, feeling into your hips and low back, and then leaning back, And if there is any pain or strain here, just make really small movements here first. So just maybe leaning forward an inch and leaning back an inch, experimenting. When you lean back, really think of tightening your core and then leaning forward. Maybe your chest is lifting a little, shoulders can come back behind you. And then rocking forward and back a couple more times, noticing where your pain-free range of motion is. And then we'll start to work into cat and cow. So we'll come back to some more sit-up type movements after we warm up our torso a little bit more. But first we'll do a cat, rounding your spine, chin to chest, pulling your belly button back in. Inhaling, looking up, lifting your chest, pulling your shoulder blades back a little bit. Exhale, rounding into cat. You can even turn your head side to side here, just feeling into the back of your neck, noticing how it's feeling today. Inhaling up to cow, looking up. Exhale, rounding your spine. Inhale to cow. And last one. Exhale into cat. Inhale to cow. Good. And then sweeping your arms up, nice and slow. Notice if your shoulders are okay with this. You could always bring your hands to your shoulders as well. And then we're going to take a twist to one side. Bring your front hand to the opposite knee. And then your back hand can rest just down beside you or drape over the back of your chair. Look off to the side and breathe. If you'd like to, look further back. And then slowly look forward, keeping your body in this twist. But look as far as you can without pain. Slowly move your head to look back. Take another deep breath. On your exhale, slowly move out of your twist, coming back to center. Good. Inhale, reaching your arms or elbows up. Exhale, opening up to the other side. So your front hand comes to your knee, back arm down by your side or drapes over your chair. Just first look off to the side. Maybe say your intention to yourself a couple of times. And then look toward the back of your chair. Slowly look forward. Look backward again. Take another deep breath. On your exhale, release and come back to center. Good. Now we're going to take those side crunches. So you're reaching your hands down toward the floor and make sure your feet are spread out so you have a nice stable base. And we'll be reaching down toward the floor. You can look down there if you want. And feel that crunch in the side of your body. So imagine your shoulder coming towards your hip. And then lifting up. Inhaling, exhaling to the other side. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. This time I'm going to add in some More arm motion. So inhale, bringing your arms up to the sides. And then exhale, reaching down. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, reaching down. Inhale up. One more time on each side. So you might really feel, especially if you are crunching in, feeling that kind of tightness on that side, you might feel a little sore there tomorrow, but this is really good for strengthening your side core muscles. Inhale up. Let's reach up a little bit higher and float your hands down. Nice. And then we're going to take those forward, rocking forward and back motions, nice and slow. Again, noticing your deep core muscles activating. And when you lean back, try not to touch your chair. And you could just keep these moving nice and slow forward and back, or you could try holding it as long as that doesn't hurt your lower back. So notice if you feel like you're kind of arching your lower back, maybe press your belly button in a little bit. So see if that might relieve any tension on your low back. And then leaning forward. And then keep that belly in as you lean back. Good. Leaning forward. Just take these at your pace, how that feels. I have to remind myself to keep my belly in instead of arching my back as I go back, because that puts a lot of strain on my low back. That's for me at least. So now, okay, keeping that belly in. I'm going to lift one leg as I come back, and then step forward, and then lift the other leg as I come back, and step forward. So this could also relieve some low back tension. Good. I see some of you, I can just see the tiny little boxes, but I can see some of you doing standing versions of this and making this just right for you, as long as you're nice and balanced. I love it. It's great. A couple more. Leaning back, maybe holding it. Great. And then come back to center, finish that out. Nice. All right. All right, so we did a lot of work on the torso, so the shoulders are next, and we can just take some shoulder rolls, going backward, alternating. If you want to get those elbows involved, bring them up and back. Good. And if you want to take some bigger stretches with it, if it feels good on your arms, you can reach those up and back as well. Nice. And then slowly starting to go in the opposite direction, maybe bringing your arms down. First to test it out, going forward one at a time. And then starting to bring the elbows in, maybe taking those swimming motions. I know Kay is really good at swimming. Imagine yourself swimming in your favorite place. Maybe in a lake or a pool. I'm more of a pool girl. I grew up going to the pool. I never went to a lake, so I get a little creeped out in lakes, but I've learned to enjoy a lake too. Good. A couple more. Ooh, feel that burn in your shoulders. It feels good. Just sweep our arms up. Reaching up, if that feels good, you can even look up towards your fingers and then sweep your hands down. So still getting some more shoulder movement coming up again. And sweeping down. Inhale, arms up. And down. this time, sweeping your arms up, we'll come into cactus arms. So lowering just your elbows, and your hands are those little prickly cacti. And then inhale your arms up. We'll do that again. Exhale, cactus. Maybe lifting your chin. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus. Good. Bring one hand down to your seat, or it could be on your thigh. And then the other arm is going to reach up, doing a little bit of a side stretch. Just make sure you're feeling supported here. Like you're reaching up high for something. And then bring that arm down. We'll switch sides. Reach up with the other arm. Nice, and then bring it back down. Let's do that one more time on each side. Big reach, maybe a side stretch. My hand is on my chair to support me so I don't tip over. And coming back to center, reach up with the other arm. Remember, you can always do this with an elbow to create a shorter lever. Nice, and then bring your arm down and shake your hands out. And then a little bit of elbow work, but it's really more for our biceps and triceps, is bending your elbows, noticing how that feels. And remember, if this position with your fists, your hands pointing toward you feels not quite comfortable, you can always just slightly turn so that your fists are pointing toward each other in that hammer curl. So that might relieve some tension in your elbows or wrists. And then open your hands as you reach them back, and then clench them together as you squeeze your biceps. Opening, pulling back, maybe feel it in your triceps on the backs of your arms, and then big curl in. Good, reaching back, maybe leaning forward a little bit here, and then pulling it in. Strengthening. So if you do this slower and really squeeze, then it's more strengthening. If you're doing it quicker, then it's just more for some blood flow and movement, which is, both are amazing. So keep breathing. Good. And then, so let's finish out this one. We're going to do this at a slightly different angle. So we're going to bring our arms out to the sides and then curl it in. So a little bit different angle, down and curling it in. Notice how that might change it for you. I'm sweeping my hands down, opening my palms, and then curling it in. 2 more times. Keep your breath flowing, and last one. Good. Okay, shake it out. And we'll do wrists and hands next. So go ahead and bring your palms together at heart center. You can make like a little cup inside between all your fingers and your hands, as if you're holding a precious gift, or like a little secret gift is in there, maybe for yourself, maybe for somebody else, and maybe it includes your intention. So just take a breath, breathing into that space. And then clasp your hands together and notice how that's feeling. Notice which thumb is in front, because we'll switch it over and do the other side next. So kind of squeezing, maybe a little massage into your palms. And then see if you can press your hands out in front of you. And this could just be a tiny bit, like an inch or two. Maybe you could go farther. Notice how that's feeling on all your joints. And then bring it back to heart center. And this is where we'll switch. So you'll put the other thumb on top and switch all your fingers. And again, slowly pressing forward. Stop if there's any pain or excessive strain. Maybe pressing all the way forward. Good, and then come back to heart center and put your normal thumb on top this time. So we're gonna do a little bit different this time. You're gonna press out to whatever position you can. And then just see if you could turn to one side, noticing how that's feeling, and then come back to center. Turn to the other side, using some back muscles. Bring your hands back to your heart center and change your grip again. So other thumbs on top. Press it out to whatever point feels good. And then turn to one side. Slowly back to center. Coming to the other side. Good. And back to center. And then bringing your palms back to heart center. Open your fingers like a flower. Make that big flower. Pressing your wrists together. Maybe forearms come together as well. And then close that flower down. Opening it up. Really getting into all of those fingers for strength and flexibility and mobility. And closing it down. Good. Unclasp your hands and make fists. And then you're gonna just kind of imagine there's some, it could be little sparkles in your hands or some kind of energy that you want to shoot out and spread out to those around you. Or it could be, you can imagine some extra love or your intention and shoot it out and really feel how that spreading out all of your fingers intentionally like that, how good that feels. And then making fists, shooting it out. You can reach way out and bring it back. 2 more times, shooting it out. Bring it back in. And last one, out. Good. Ooh, just take some little motions in your hands that feel good. Maybe some figure 8 motions. Working into some coordination, that's always fun. And notice which direction your hands are going. And if you know what's coming, that we're going to reverse this in a minute, that you can always just do one hand at a time to really study this and be able to slow it down and then stop and go the other way. So maybe do it with one hand, or if you're a pro, you can do it with both hands. I'm just going to do it with one hand first, and then I'm going to go over to the other side and go the way that's normal for me, or easy. And then I'm going to reverse it and go the other direction. Maybe notice there's one side that works well, one side that has a harder time with it. Nice, good. And rest. The last thing is our neck, and often, at least for me, the part of my body that really holds so much tension. So first, we'll kind of do a pre-test. So notice how your neck is feeling. Just bring one ear over toward one shoulder. Notice how that's feeling. You can even kind of massage in to those muscles. Tell them that they're safe, that you're not going to make them do anything more than what they're ready for. And then go ahead and tip your head to the other shoulder. Good. Feels so good to massage them. Let's do that one more time. Really taking some time to explore which muscles, even all the way forward to your throat. You kind of massage into your throat or the side of your throat, all the way down to your shoulder. And bring your head back up to center and other side. So side of your throat. You could try saying something in this position too. That might be interesting. Like la 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 la. And massage down to your shoulder. Good. Bring your head back to center. And now just look to one side. So you're just turning your head to look off to one side. Notice how far you can look without turning your shoulders or your torso. Bring your head back to center and look to the other side. Good. Bring your head back to center. And then we're going to take those gentle somatic shoulder shrugs, which I recommend you doing every day. Super easy and simple, and they just take a couple of, not even a couple of minutes. So bringing your shoulders up, about 3 seconds here, and then slowly lowering them down, smoothing them out. I think all of you know this drill pretty well now. See if there's any spots that feel bumpy or shaky along the way, and those are the spots you're going to focus into. Relax at the bottom. And then we'll do that 2 more times. Shoulders up. Slow and steady all the way down, allowing your brain to register how to relax, how to fully release. And I've been doing this for 3 months, and it's completely transformed how my neck pain, I don't have neck pain anymore. So bringing your shoulders up one more time. Or I will say, if I do sense neck pain coming on, I just have to do this sometimes one time, 1 to 3 times, and then my brain says, oh yeah, I remember how to do this. And I remember how to release. So if you want to do it another time or 2, feel free. Otherwise, just kind of roll out your shoulders, and we'll get ready to do a little bit of standing. Actually, so last thing here is if you did those shoulder shrugs, then just look over to one side and see if you can look a little bit farther. If you're able to turn your head farther, I am definitely. And then come back to center and look to the other side. Good, and come back to center. So it's nice to recheck before and after you do something, because then the brain can register that, oh, that actually works, and then you're convinced more, so that you're more motivated to do it in the future. But earlier we were extending and then bringing our knee back. So if you're able to do that, bring your foot back either to the inside or to the outside, and you might feel just a little bit of a stretch here. Bring your opposite arm up. So we're doing a little bit of a flow here, incorporating the whole body. And then you're going to bring your leg and your arm forward. And then see if you could reach down, help your foot out to do a figure 4 position. And here you can stay sitting straight up. You can also try leaning forward, feeling a stretch in your hip. If you'd like to do a forward fold here, a little bit longer, you could get a pillow to put underneath you or a bolster. I just like staying here and resting my elbows on my shin. You could also do some ankle rolls, pointing and flexing your foot. And then you could also look down, bringing your chin to chest and up. So we're just kind of getting most of the body in this last position. And bring your foot back down. We'll do the other side. So kind of bend the other knee, either pulling your foot out to the outside, kind of depending on your chair situation, or to the inside. And then the opposite arm is going to reach up, and you could even lift that leg up. And then bring your arm and your leg forward. And then see if you could bring that foot up. So the option here is to do this with a ball, if that would be more comfortable. And remember, this is a great tool to use if you have one at home. I'd like to talk about this more maybe next week, about using an exercise ball for stability. But right now we're in figure 4 pose. So same thing, leaning forward, feeling that stretch in your outer hip. And maybe taking some ankle circles. And maybe bringing your chin to chest. Slowly rise up and step your foot down. And so now we'll be coming to standing, taking those rocking motions forward and back, getting ready to lift off a little bit. And remember that this is a great strengthening pose if it feels okay on your joints. You can hold it as long as you want, or try several rising up and sitting down. And then we'll come up to standing when you're ready. Breathing so you don't feel lightheaded. Maybe lift your arms overhead and back down. Kind of testing that out, because that can make you feel lightheaded. So notice how you are, and you're nice and stable. The chair is right behind you. Reaching up and down. So if it feels good, reach your arms up, hold this pose. It's 5-pointed star, and it's very expansive. And know how important and how needed you are in the world. Bring your hands down, and if you have something to hang on to, please do so. I'm going to just move my chair. I'm going to come to the back of my chair, and I'm just going to rock side to side, kind of noticing into one knee and then the other. Good. Then I am going to just turn and face you so you can see the rest of what I'm doing. And we're just doing that rocking side to side. Please feel free if you would like to. So as you rock to one side, see if you could just kind of stay on that side, and then release the opposite hand out as a counterbalance. And then come back to center and bend into the other knee and release that arm out. Staying nice and strong, making sure it's okay on your knees. If you don't want to bend your knees, you can keep them straight and just reach one arm out to the side. And then the other side. So kind of opposite knee is bending to your hand. Good. One more time, each side. Good. Nice. And then bring your feet closer together, about hip width distance apart or more. We're going to take those same side stretches. So you're reaching really tall, reaching maybe a little bit of a side stretch. Good. Bring your hand down, and then we'll go to the other side. Nice. And then the last thing, I'm just going to move my chair to the side so you can see what I'm doing, is a tree pose if you'd like to. And so you can do this seated or standing, where you bring your heel up to your ankle. You could also place your foot on a block if if you'd like to. So make sure that standing foot is really grounded, pressing into the ground. You notice your toes, your foot, your heel, all grounded. And if you do have a tree pose, or even if you're standing with both feet planted, maybe sweep the other arm up like a tree branch, just kind of exploring. You could sweep it in front, wherever you would like to explore. Noticing the stability of your balance, but then also how much movement there is too. Good, nice. And then we'll just come over to the other side. Move your block. And you can place that foot on the ground with your heel resting against your leg. Again, notice your standing leg, nice and strong, stable. Pressing your toes into the ground, your heel. And then maybe reaching your other arm out to the side. And trying some movement while you're nice and stable. As if you were blowing in the wind, but nothing's going to move you. Good. Beautiful. All right, so we'll be coming down either to a seated position or down to the ground for our relaxation portion in Shavasana. And please take your time, safely make your way down, especially if you're moving to the ground or couch or bed. When you arrive, if you would like to take a one last position, like maybe butterfly or happy baby, please feel free to do that for a moment. You could also, another lovely position is to lay on the ground with your feet, with your legs draped up on a chair or the couch. Super beneficial to get your legs up in the air. So if that's an option for you, please consider that. It's a great position to do even 5 or 10 minutes a day. So I'll give you a couple more moments to get settled. Allow yourself this time of rest. It is so important to the whole process of healing. It allows your brain to rest and integrate what you've done. It allows you to rest and let everything go. It allows you to find that inner peace that is the ultimate healing. So in these last few moments, feel free to take a couple of deep breaths and audibly sigh it out. Imagine yourself sinking into the earth and being held, supported, received, invited into this time of relaxation. And notice your feet. Imagine that you could breathe in and out through your feet, completely relaxing your feet. Notice your legs. Breathe in and out through your legs, completely relaxing your legs. Notice your hips. Inhale and exhale through your hips, completely relaxing your hips. Notice your low back. Inhale and exhale through your low back, completely relaxing your low back. Notice your torso. Inhale and exhale through your torso, completely relaxing your torso. Notice your shoulders. Inhale and exhale through your shoulders, completely relaxing your shoulders. Notice your arms. Inhale and exhale through your arms, completely relaxing your arms. Notice your hands. Breathe in and out through your hands, completely relaxing your hands. Bring awareness to your neck. Breathe in and out through your neck, completely relaxing your neck. Notice your head. Breathe in and out through your head, completely relaxing your head. Notice your whole body. Breathe in and out through your whole body, completely relaxing your whole body. Take these next couple of minutes in silence, and I'll call us out when we're finished. to the present moment. Deepen your breath. Start to take some gentle movements through your hands and feet, or rock your head side to side. And when you are ready, you can take some bigger movements, like a long body stretch or bending your knees. And we'll meet together to close out if you want to, or you can stay laying down. Either bringing your hands to your heart or in prayer pose to honor yourself and honor each other. It's my honor to lead you in your practice today. Have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. Namaste.